The buildings of the Upper Town are a showcase of the historical styles of Baroque, Rococo and Classicism. In terms of beauty and artistic value, this one tops them all. Vojković Oršić Rauch Palace. In 1846, this house of nobility became the National Museum, which is now the Croatian History Museum. It has one of the biggest collections of weapons in this part of Europe. There are also very rich collections of paintings, drawings and sculptures, medals and awards, flags, uniforms, maps, everyday objects and so on. But now the museum has a visitor. He has come from the end of the 19th century. His name is Iso Kršnjavi.
Kršnjavi je jedna osoba u našoj povijesti koja je dosta...
As a historical figure, Kršnjavi was ignored for a long time after his death, largely because of his political career, where he was associated with the pro-Hungarian tendencies. Politically, Isidor Kršnjavi is very controversial. At one time or another, he followed all three main political courses: the Yugoslav Party of Strossmayer, the Hungarian Party of Hedervary, and the Nationalist Party of Right. But he was controversial in other respects too. He was accused by his political opponents of being a womanizer, which was, in fact, true. Here's an interesting manuscript written by Kršnjavi where he remembers how he became a member of the Croatian Parliament in 1884. One would expect boring notes about his political campaign, but all these passages marked in pink describe his impressions about pretty girls in Slavonia. After all, Kršnjavi was a painter, so how could he ignore beauty? Painting was just one of his many talents. Sitting at this desk, Kršnjavi wrote the first Croatian translation of Dante's Divine Comedy. As the Minister of Culture, he was incredibly ambitious. In just 4 years, he built or renovated 180 buildings. The minister was either respected or scorned, but never loved. Kršnjavi was supremely vain. On the occasion of his 70th birthday, the Art Society decided to make a memorial medal in his honour. But Kršnjavi wasn't satisfied. He even published an article where he had himself photographed in profile to show the public that the medal wasn't in his likeness. So the society gave them all to Kršnjavi, who threw all the medals in the river Sava. The greatest day of his life came in 1895, when the emperor came to Zagreb. Kršnjavi was able to show that he transformed Zagreb from a provincial capital into a modern Central European city. I find it interesting that he procured the first school boat to be used by the School for Maritime Trade in Bakar. He used the boat to sail across the Adriatic with his art students. He hired them, together with the renowned Croatian artists of the period, to decorate the halls of his ministry on the Upper Town. The building was conceived as what our neighbours would call a Gesamtkunstwerk. It is a presentation of culture and civilization from its foundations in ancient Greece and Rome to the end of the 19th century. The result is what we know today as the Golden Hall. It is the greatest monument to the creativity of a generation and the energy of a man.